right, so this is Dara, and I just wanted to welcome you to my video blog on Evernote. Last year, so first of all, let me say that I am a big Evernote user. I've been a big Evernote user for years, but it's funny how you can be using a system and then not really think about, um, you know, using that same system to problem solve other problems you're having in your life. So, last year I had a lot of problems with organizing our homeschool assignments. We tried using, my printouts to talk about daily schedules. We tried using papers by Dropbox. We tried using Google apps. But we kept having this problem ongoing of like, my son prefers the printout, but then, if if there's anything he has to watch or use online, then I have to supply the link. And so how exactly we do that? So this year was like, oh, let's just get him an Evernote account and go ahead and use Evernote for our homeschool. So, first I want to show you like actually how I use Evernote. So as you can see, I have a lot of folders in here. I'm a big user, but mostly, I have this homeschool stack here, and so in it I have the administration stuff, files from the county, etc. Um, some goals, and usually I put in this folder, you know, uh, the information I need to turn in to show his progress. And then I have research, which is things I found along the way that I'm not really sure what to use. And then I have the planner, and the planner is kind of, I mean, if you go in, it's just nonsense. There are all kinds of different files that I've created where I just sort of list things that I want to do, and I'll attach files, and these are things that I've already kind of vetted and have an idea that I want to do them. I just haven't yet necessarily uh, managed to put them into the homework that he has. So this is where I just kind of do my general planning. The two new folders that I've added now is this one called staging and this one called templates. So templates is a thing that I do all the time where if I have a um, note that's going to be the same over and over, then I will create a template so that I can always have the template the same. So for this, in this case, I have our weekly dashboard. So the idea is to show what week we're in, to go ahead and give a pie chart to show how complete the term is, and you'll actually get to see example of this, and then give an idea of what the weather is for the week, and then our goals, if we have any appointments. And then here in our daily assignments, I actually have like, his class schedule. So gym and instruction times are things he does with me, but he actually takes his art class um, outside of the home. So keeping track of those, and then STEM Fridays is when we do both our STEM lab and computer studies. And then the idea is to link this to the daily schedule. And then down here, I just have some notes. So here's all my weather icons, so I can grab those. And then I was starting to track like what chores that I want him to do. So these will end up on the daily schedule, but I was just working with them here. So on my daily schedule, I have instruction time. So this is the time that I'm actually going to meet with him during the day. So since I do work full time, I can't, I'm not with him. There's a lot of self study that happens for him. And then there's got to be some time where he meets with me to either learn new concepts or to go over work he's done. So, I will plan that time, and I'll let him know what time I have available. Usually it's during my lunch hour, but, sometimes I have meetings and lunch and I'll have to move my lunch hour. If he has an appointment, then it'll have the appointment. And then each day I want him to respond to a journal prompt, and then I'll go into listing the day's assignments. And I've down here, I've kind of reminded myself how I wanted those assignments to run, and then some links to where I can get some writing prompts. So the good thing about this is that he'll be able to, write his prompt right here. He'll have, links to anything that he needs to do online. But I'll also probably give him a printout so he can, I'll print this page. He can have the page with him, but then he can refer to the online as well to get his links. And then the other piece that I've added, or the other notebook I've added, is a notebook that I call staging. So if I have work ready that's for successive weeks. So you can see I'm already planning this for 9/5. Then once I have the assignment ready for him or ready to talk on our discuss in our instruction time, I can set it into a staging folder. It's ready to go. So that's pretty much how my side of things work. Once I'm ready to send it to him, I can just simply move the note into the this week's folder. So let me go back to my list of notebooks, and you'll see that I have this notebook called High School Homeschool Shared, where we'll have our completed work, we'll have kind of higher level goals, grades, and then like rubrics for codes and grading, and then his this week. So, one thing that's interesting, so I keep all of my information organized by the most recent updated. That's how I organize my Evernote. And then I just, search and I tag things to, and I put them in different stacks to find them. But for him, what we want to do is actually put his things in order by title. So when he goes into his this week, the first thing he's going to see is this weekly dashboard. And so here you can see this is going to be his first week of school. And so his account is new. So I'm going to get all the little reminders of things that, Evernote wants you to be able to know how to do. So just bear with that as it pops up. But here you can see, we're in week 1, and so none of the pie chart is filled in. I still have to go up and update the weather. It was, when I laid out this page, it was too soon to know what the weather was, but go and do the weather. And then here I have the goals for this week. So our number one goal for the first week of school is to figure out what our goals are, the goals for the school year and the goals for the term. And I'm actually going to organize, we have here you see a back to school orientation. So I'm actually going to have an orientation where we do a retrospective on what went well last year, where we can improve, and then an exercise to brainstorm goals that he has and goals that I have for him and for our homeschool. So that's kind of our first goal for the week. I've got another goal, getting back into the swing of things. So just, reestablishing that we are back in school. Summer, he got to do exactly what he wanted. And then a little bit of math review. With math, it's kind of good to go back a little bit before you go forward. So we're going to go and do a math review. And then you see that he's actually got an appointment to the orthodontist, so he'll be able to see that. And then here he's got his list of the daily pages. And then if you see here, the way that I've titled everything, I put a star in front of the weekly dashboard to make sure it always shows up at the top. And then I just number the days of the week, and they automatically, um, because for our option we have title ascending, they automatically go in order. So he'll come in, and Mondays are orientation. So I just put some thoughts about what we would do. But Tuesday is really his first instruction day. So he'll have a printout of this in his morning box. He'll be able to, you know, offline, he's got a box where we keep all of his work, and he'll be able to go in and pull out all the paper and books and stuff that he has that are analog. But because we're saying here, here's his first prompt, he can see that. He'll know that he has to work in these journals, and then he's got a video assignment. So here he'll be able to link right over to that assignment. And then we've already got the vocab words set up. And then this year, something we're going to do is he's going to choose a class of his own to take. So we're going to start with the one, although he could do multiple. So I found a site that has courses that are done. So it's not just one-off classes, but courses that are done by college professors. So we're going to see what he likes, and there's all kinds of material for him to choose from. But this is kind of how our daily assignment will go. And then what you'll see is that, I've repeated here that he's got an appointment, make it clear. Um, but let's see what today. So he's going to be reading Amaro by Charles Saunders. And so here you'll see I have this link here, and this links, because in Evernote you can link to notes to each other. So the assignment is to actually go ahead and write this biography. And I've created this as a template for myself so that all we have to do is say, like, change the name of the author and change the book we're talking about. And then, boom, we've got the template for creating a biography on that author. The other thing we have is that, we've got STEM Lab. So his STEM Lab, it'll have a challenge And then there's a research question and the materials. And then we actually, I actually purchased this the STEM project set from Teachers Pay Teacher. I'll put in the notes below, like exactly what the exact link to the set. But what I really like about this is he's got STEM projects, one a week for the whole school year. It might even be two a week, but they're really good projects. And then in the for each project, he has a video where, at the beginning of the video, he just explains setting it up. It's kind of geared towards the teacher to understand how the student should be setting up the assignment. But then, like halfway through, he starts with, here's the science behind, how this works. And so, you know, uh, we'll be able to try out the experiment and then actually figure out, understand how this project works. And then here you see at the bottom, I'm putting the assessment. So once, he's finished this, he's got the assessment for the activity, the assessment for the question, and the overall grade. And this means that we'll be able to track this kind of thing, these grades going through. So this is something that we didn't really do much last year. I gave him some feedback on how he was doing, but really his grades were something that I sent to the county. I didn't really give him his grades, except to just point out to him when he did well, what where he needed to improve, when we still need to continue working on something. But I didn't actually give him a grade. So this year we will be doing grades. And then once the week is finished, you see we will take all of these notes together and basically, can you do it on the online? I think you can only do it on the app. So let me show you in my folder. So basically, if you select a bunch of notes, you'll be able to merge them into one note. So at the end of the week, we'll merge the note together, and it'll have that same layout actually of the week being in the front, then the days, and then whatever assignments that he did in here. And then once they're merged, I'll go in and I'll give the information about the overall grades for the week. And then this is something that we'll be able to track. So he's got, a folder here that we share that shows completed work. So he'll be able to come in here, see what work he's done in the past. We'll scan it if he did it in an analog way, so that it all be here to be tracked, and he'll have his grade. So I'm really excited about um, doing this. I'm really excited about the structure of this and hoping that it helps to keep us much more organized. And I know that for me, I'll be able to give him his assignments, days in advance, and know that in the first thing in the morning when he gets up, he can get his assignments. Whether I'm, busy in a meeting, working or not, he doesn't have to wait for me. He can just come in here and get to work. So, really seeking towards getting some independence this year, and I think this is going to be great. So, um, if you have any questions about how this works, or general questions about Evernote and getting Evernote used for your homeschool, just let me know. And thanks. Take care. Talk to you next time.